So, after spending some time on Reddit, spent some time thinking, I was gonna say that I think atheists to a certain degree slow down the progression of humanity, but in a certain way. I was thinking that Christians also do that in a certain way. I also think that Muslims do that in a certain way. So I'm gonna call it three extremes. The first extreme is the creationist extreme. The Christian believer or the person who believes that I believe something and anybody who disagrees with me or has a different opinion than I do is automatically wrong, and I'm better than them because I know what's right. And anything that goes against what my belief is should be silenced completely and absolutely. First extreme. And that does a lot of damage to the progression and overall growth of humanity. Second extreme is the atheist extreme. It isn't all atheists, just like it's not all Christians, but there's a lot of atheists out there that believe that atheism is the next step to our social evolution. And they believe that until you're an atheist, you're not reasonable, logical, rational. Forgetting people like freaking Newton, so on and so forth. They completely ignore him, like, oh yeah, Newton wasn't reasonable, logical, or rational. Of course he wasn't. I mean, you'll never hear it. No atheist has ever said ever. Actually, probably a few atheists probably have said that, but probably most scientists wouldn't say that. But yeah, that's another extreme. And the problem with this extreme is it makes it so that in order for us to come together towards a more intellectual society or come together to make each other more intellectual, we have to become atheists first. So they're pretty much like, you know what, if you're not atheist, well, I obviously had to look down on you. And that's just kind of bigoted in its, own way. But, it's that type of mentality that slows down the progression of our general population, our general humanity, and it's a big problem. But atheists generally don't tend to think like that or actually acknowledge that position or that point because they're too busy, claiming atheism being the right shit. Like atheism is completely right. We're the most logical, rational, reasonable people out there. Religion's just stupid. You all believe in fucking fairy tales. And that's the only reason that you'd have any reason to believe in God because you're childish and simple-minded. Now that type of shit really slows down the progression of humanity. And the third extreme is the Muslim extreme, or like the Muslim extremists. These are people who believe what they believe, and they don't really care, what you believe. But if you're different, if you believe something different, then they're really pretty much willing to kill you. Not all these people, but the extremists are. Because of the fact they feel they're right and justified, they feel like that they have the right to kill you. And this can be seen in a lot of different issues. Like a dude at a bar. Like the jock dickhead asshole at a fucking bar. Not necessarily a jock at the point in time, but that type of person. The things like, you said something I don't agree with, motherfucker, let's fight. That type of person, that very controversial person. That also slows down the progression of humanity to the degree that it stops the conversation from even being possible because of the fact that we can't have a conversation just because of the fact that these people are just willing to get to blows, or even worse, if anybody disagrees with them. You also see this in gangs and shit. But yeah, the three extremes. Just wanted to talk about that and tell you guys why they're wrong. Yeah. All right, you guys have a good one. Deuces.